Hello everybody, Realm Builder Guy here, and welcome back to the channel, and yet another new Victoria 3 video. As always, I want to thank everybody that's been liking, commenting, viewing, subscribing, all the stuff here about Victoria 3 and everything on the channel. But really, since Victoria 3 content started coming, and I know a lot of this is just, talking about what's been put out there and speculation, but it's a lot of fun. And the growth has been pretty astronomical since then, and it's led me down to the path of starting up Victoria 2 again. Haven't played that in a long time, and who knows, maybe I'll bring some Victoria 2 content here to the channel just to tide us over until Victoria 3 launches. I want to thank the viewer who on the last video about economy talked about, well, we know when Victoria 3 will launch. It'll be Victoria Day 2022, and that's actually a pretty good shout. It's roughly a year after this year's PDXCON, and it gives them a lot of time to develop because there are certain aspects that they're talking about, and I saw a discussion on Twitter about, well, we're still talking about implementing XYZ. And how do we want to implement it with the stuff we already know that's working in the alpha? So they're definitely still deep in early development stages. And so I think a year until full launch is a pretty good shout. So what are we talking about today? Well, art and design of Victoria was a topic during PDXCON. They had a discussion about what they're going for, and I'm not going to get too in detail there. I'm going to show you some stuff here, but what's great about this presentation, and I know some people said, hey, don't go through a presentation, show screenshots and gameplay footage. That's difficult given that they only officially let out the 5 screenshots that I already shared during the announcement video, and there's no gameplay footage, so there's nothing to show there. But this kind of stuff right here is actually really, really cool. So we're going to go through this slideshow. I've already perused it, made some notes, so we're going to look at this. And you can see here is some of the art that they're going to be looking at for the different loading screens. So, it all looks very, very nice and thematically correct. All right, so some details. Now, there's no text here. It's really just the screenshots that are embedded in these. I didn't want to rip them out of the PDF because I didn't want to, upset anybody at Paradox for doing that. So we're just going to go with the document that they shared publicly on the forums and kind of talk about what we're seeing here. So some of the details, if we look at the map, and I know the map is seemingly already splitting some opinions, whether you like it or not. I've seen quite a few say it looks very Civ-like. I've seen some people say it looks Total War-esque. I personally like it. I mean, you can look at the detailed textures here on the map. You can see shadows mean something. You can see your agricultural lands differentiated, which is nice because if you go back to Victoria 2, it's not shaded differently. And granted, Victoria 2 is an old game in that sense from 2010, but still, it's a nice game. But here you've got more details in smaller towns, in large cities in Paris, as well as, I don't know, whatever they've clicked on here. That's downtown or central Paris, it looks like. Then you've got Brussels over there and the coast, so on. So I think it looks really nice. You can also clearly see the railway going through here, and roads and river systems. So infrastructure, as always, really good, and really important. And you can see the very clear borders here. Up here, we've got Belgium, and then you have the Netherlands past there. The quick outliner here, we've got the interest groups, commanders, markets, colonies, and states. I like that. And obviously down here, the quick UI interface. I'm going to assume this is production. This might be laws and government, politics, possibly. This is definitely military. Here, I'm going to assume this looks like trade. So that would make this most likely, diplomacy would be my guess. Let me know what you think. All right, on to the next one. So again, more details. We're in Peru here. So on Peru, what do we have down here? We've got Peruvian market, French relations with Peru, French interest towards Peru, threat, and so Peru, or threat. It looks like French threat towards Peru, and Peruvian threat towards France. They are unworried. Okay, or not worried. This looks like Machu Picchu here, actually. If you really, I mean, I can't scroll in too much. I guess I can try here. If I scroll down here, yeah, this actually, whoop, got ahead of myself there. Let's get a little closer view here. This is actually much better. Oh, this is nice. Now you got a nice full screen view. So I apologize that I did not do that in the previous one. So yeah, that's on me. But this is definitely looks like Machu Picchu. We can look to see the different textures here. Looking pretty good. And then yeah, looks nice. All right, let's go to the next one. And here we've got institutions, opposition. Got the petite bourgeoisie. I like the look of these guys here. And then we've got different icons that mean different things. So I guess what they are for or against. And their overall status as far as their standing. Because these, between the industrialists and the bourgeoisie, it's the same. Catholic Church a little bit different. Neutral +3, neutral +3. We can guesstimate what some of this stuff means. I'm assuming something in here is probably education, then markets and policies, industrial things here. I'm liking the look. Looks very nice. Gotta like those. That facial hair. We've got our armed forces. These are the interest groups in opposition, the intelligentsia. So it must be dropping down. So they want peace. I'm pretty sure we can go off that. Peace. Breaking of the church. Breaking of or anti-slavery maybe here. Breaking of the monarchy. They're all about money, of course. These guys are about the military. These are maybe, I don't know about alms to the poor, but equality or things like that. But it's looking good. It's looking good. So these are the icons they're using for the different interest groups. Now we will look. We will look here. Mazovia, a Russian market. So this looks like a click on a state. We've got our overview, our buildings, and the information. I like the buildings part of this. So the art of the province looks very nice. So you can see immediately it's a heavy forested state. These icons, obviously, we don't know what it means. Russian flag, isolated state region, the infrastructure. So there's no infrastructure. The infrastructure usage are 34. Maybe this is rest of infrastructure. Market access at 0%. This is all of the screenshots are from the perspective of France. So I guess that means there's no market access for France to the state, the GDP, taxation, the expenses. Good to see. And here we've got different buildings. Can't really tell what they are. Settlement buildings. I would assume this is either military or police buildings. Got some ag buildings here. That looks like maybe a government building. Then the population, standard of living is definitely something to keep in mind. So the needs for, what do we have here? Probably higher quality needs versus, where things are as far as what needs they need fulfilled. Struggling for the lower classes, middle and upper. So they still, looks like they still have those three class systems. And overall, what's being produced or consumed, it's hard to tell. Here are the peasants, 3 unemployed. And we've got our population and growth. Migration, none. So migration is a key thing. So population, again, continues to be a key facet of Victoria 3. But overall, I like the way that looks. Ambiance. All right. So here they've got some clouds. It looks very pretty. I can't deny that. I don't need the clouds personally, just because I'd rather see what's going on below it. But it looks pretty. Here we can see the outliner a little bit better now that I've actually zoomed in. More ambiance here. Again, so this is Italy, of course. We've got Salerno, Vasto. I like the textures. I like the way they've decided to go with the art. So it's not ultra high def, it looks like. Now I am scrolled in, or zoomed in, but it looks like it's a little more impressionist in style, which obviously works with the Victorian age if you think of the great impressionists that were alive at that time. So it actually feels thematically correct. I love the look of the buildings in the cities. That's definitely very Victorian. So kudos there. Cultural differences. All right, so we've got some leaders, so they're going to increase the view of cultural differences. So I do need to zoom out a little bit there so we get it all on there. Whoop. So we have France. Then we've got their government style, absolute monarchy. This maybe means a tech development. Not sure. But at quick glance, you can see here you've got your military. So that one was definitely military building with the Pickelhaube, the Prussian Pickelhaube, signifying military. The naval force power, the GDP, again in British pounds. Overall population, literacy rate is still part of it. Standard of living. So I assume standard of living is the needs portion of the different pops. State religion, primary cultures, and arable land. So very important as far as food production, I strongly assume. Overall, the look and feel, it looks like it's leaning more CK3 when you look at the actual characters, if you want to call them that, versus Imperator Stellaris. So I like the art look and feel of that. The map. Let's scroll down here so we don't go over it there, which we did. I do like the UI here. So you've got your different tabs. Let's scroll in here. There we go. We get a good view here. So we've got our different tabs here. This reminds me a lot on the left side of Imperator as far as the UI layout. So, you know, you've got your government, you've got trade, military. This is probably pops. This is industry, diplomacy, tech. And then down here are a few that I'm not 100% sure what those are. But if we look at it, if you can look right here, Prussia is blue. No yellow Prussia. So we've got the Kazakhs, Russia, Greater Qing Dynasty, British India. We've got Netherlands over here, South Africa. It looks like they've got Transvaal and the Orange Free State again, which is kind of one of those historical inaccuracies that kind of bothers me because these states didn't exist in 1836 yet. They came about 20 to 30 years later only. So make that as you will. Then the stuff that's not shaded in, you can see down here and here. I'm assuming that's all basically the territories that are open to colonization would be my strong yes there. Now let's go to the next one here on the map. So this is now South America. So you got the United States up there, Spanish Cuba. Looks like these are all the different shipping and trade routes. So good to see there. We've got our Argentina, our Brazil. But yeah, the Patagonia, the Guarani here, those are definitely the colonizable land. So the land that is up for grabs at any given point. And then here we've got one more map. This is the scrolled out map. I really love this. This is like, you know, these are little quality of life details that you're basically looking at this as if you're on a ship. Because of course you got your compass here and all your navigational tools. Overall, United States, there are a few spots here that are open still to grab between United States, Britain, and Mexico. It looks like Britain does have British Columbia, Alberta, and so on, as well as the Pacific Northwest. Very interesting. Russia has Alaska. So that is good to see. Egypt is its own, not part of the Ottoman Empire. You've got Tripoli here, Persia. You know, overall, I'd have to say it looks pretty good. All right, there you have it, a roundup of this next presentation and slide that Paradox and the team around Victoria 3 did release. A little chat about it, a little look at what it looks like. I have to say, I really like the art and design and feel we were able to gather a little bit more speculative information about the game there, with much more to come. Obviously, I will be covering all the future dev diaries and releases and interviews and sneak peeks that are coming around the corner. I hope you're enjoying these. If you are, please hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any Victoria content moving forward. And also check out some of the other stuff here on the channel while you're at it. And let me know down in the comments what you think of this first concept art that they have shown. And also, like I mentioned, maybe I'll do a little bit of Victoria 2. Maybe we'll do a Victoria 2 playthrough. Just have a little fun here on the channel. If that's something you'd like to see, let me know that down in the comments, because it would be kind of interesting. I mean, I've been playing Victoria 2 now again after many years away. And, you know, the rust is starting to be shed, and it's really enjoyable, but I'm noticing the huge differences in a dated, older game versus what they're going for here. So it's really good to kind of have both open at the same time. So let me know down in the comments. And until next time, I'm Realm Builder Guy, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.